Hey mga katropa, Sir Vince, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning mga katropa. Good morning, Sir Leo.
In this episode,
There's something wrong with your friend.
yes,
Another questions about
another
what?
question from our katropa.
Mhm.
How to identify that we are having engine misfiring?
Engine misfiring.
Yes, sir.
Engine misfiring is easily identified during driving, even in idle.
Okay.
So, first of all, when you start your vehicle, like for example, first starting of the vehicle, when you try to start it,
Yes, sir.
if you see the engine identification icon, or they call it service engine soon, or in other words, engine light. So many particular things that they will tell for what is engine light. So the good information about the engine light is service engine soon. Okay, service engine soon. When you turn on your vehicle, for example, in the first place, I can say the engine icon or engine indicator light, it will be coming on your cluster, stays on, and suddenly it will make blinking. Okay, on and off, like a blinking Christmas light, I can say, to make it still sure. This one, if this engine indicator light is blinking on your cluster, so you have already the misfiring. That is the easiest way, and you will feel like from your feeling that you are inside,
Yes, sir.
you will feel like a vibrations for your engine. You will feel like rattle sounds like this, or engine jerking even. It will be affect also the transmission shifting as well if you have the engine misfiring. What is the possible cause?
Yes, sir.
The possible cause for this one, it might be, we will go through technical. Okay, we'll go to technical about engine misfiring for the possible cause. First of all, they will check the DTC or trouble codes for this.
That's the time they will use the,
That's the time they were checking for this engine misfiring. So first of all, we will check for the trouble codes. What's the trouble codes? The trouble codes for this one, mostly you will see if you have a multiple misfiring, it will be multi codes. Let's say for example, multiple misfiring, mostly the code is P0300. Then if you have 4-cylinder or 8-cylinder, P001, P002 until P008, this is the codes of your 8-cylinder. Okay, now how you identify that you have a spare parts breakdown? First of all, once you got this multiple code or multiple misfiring happen, you have to check first the compressions of each cylinder. So if you check your compressions of each cylinder, everything is okay, then you start for checking your spark plug as well. Anyway, when you remove or checking your compression, of course you have to remove your spark plug. First of all, check your spark plug. When your spark plug everything is fine, then check your compression, everything is okay. Then check the coil, maybe problem for the coil, or maybe you have only connector loose for coil. Most of the vehicle now is coil pack. Okay, sometimes individual coil, sometimes is assembly coil.
assembly.
Okay, so mostly you can see an assembly coil for the 4-cylinder only. Start from 6-cylinder and 8-cylinder. Mostly you can see this is individual coil. Okay, for the 4-cylinder you have also some individual coil, like for example the other brand, the other engine like Nissan, Toyota, they are individual coil. For Chevrolet and another parts for this one, they are coil pack, they call it. Okay, so if you have problem, for example, for your spark plug, the burn of the spark plug is going different. The good spark plug burn is look like a brownish color. Okay, in the tip. If the spark plug like a dark color or black color, it might be you have leaking, or the spark plug itself problem. But mostly that is leaking. Leaking from where? Internal. Like for example, the the valve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that valve from exhaust and intake, it might be there's a leaking if the spark plug is going dark. or otherwise you will see your spark plug like fracture.
Yes.
That one having problem.
That
or-
is visible.
yeah,
once
visible
you-
already on the combustion
Yes.
problem. That one. Okay. So if your ignition coil have problem, you can just easily identify this ignition coil through what? You can just, let's say for example, a coil pack. Try to change for another cylinder. If for example another cylinder, for example cylinder number 1 is having misfiring, and then you transfer this coil to cylinder number 4, and then this cylinder number 4 to return to cylinder number 1.
Yes, sir.
So if the misfiring goes to cylinder number 4, it means you don't have any problem for your wirings. You have problem only for the coil. That is the to identify the problem. So that way you have to replace only the ignition coil. For example, you have a coil pack. Coil pack is not easily to identify, but if you have a, let's say for example, a spark plug unburning, like it's going white color, it means it's not burning the fuel. So it means you have problem for this ignition coil pack. You have to replace also ignition coil pack for that one. So after you replace this ignition coil pack, then try to start up, the engine light will disappear. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But if the engine light not disappear, try take a scan tool. You have to clear the DTC first before you start. But some models, after replacing the coil pack, the engine light will directly disappear, and that coach will remain history if you will not clear the DTC. The best way, if you don't have a scan tool, try to remove your battery terminals.
To be able to reset.
Yeah, able to reset these codes or DTC for this one if you don't have a scan tools. But my suggestion, if you have time, or after you changing or removing the battery, changing the parts that is related for the computer and electronics, what I can say is better to go to the dealership or some of your trusted mechanic that have a scan tool, better to clear the DTC.
Yes, sir.
So the story of this one, it will be remain, and when it's going trouble again, the technician, it will not going like to follow again the history. Okay, if for example you just doing the vehicle outside and you replace the ignition coil outside, and suddenly after you replace the ignition coil, that engine light it's gone. So when you have get trouble again, or the malfunction indicator light will appear, then you will go to agency. Let's say it going like one sensor only up. Let's say I will make an example for, let's say, map sensor, but the history of the vehicle is still having misfiring. If you will mention to the technician that one that you replace already the coil, it will be going to mislead. Okay, it might be only the problem on that time there's a leaking only. The service technician, he will give you high estimate again with the ignition coil and spark plug and so on and so on. So, but if you delete that one, it will be the codes coming only that map sensor. So he will focus only on the map sensor. He will not going through back to the history like this. So that is the engine misfiring. To evaluate when you have trouble for the engine misfiring, this is the possible problem. You will feel malfunction indicator light will be blinking on the cluster during the first start, and after that it will be stays on. Then you will feel engine vibration, harsh shift, jerking, and also for the transmission you will feel like delay shifting or hard shifting because you have lack of power for the engine. So possible cause, it might be the minor, it will be like spark plug you have to replace only, or ignition coil only, fuel injectors also it might be, and also the worst thing that you have leak from the valve, you have to make tap overall your engine, or otherwise pull overall, because might be you have problem also for the piston ring leaking. That is the possible cause of the engine misfiring. Okay, to eliminate the misfiring, you have to replace the affected parts. All is related, as I said before, for the possible cause. Now how to repair it and replace this possible cause. First of all, you will go for the minor thing, like spark plugs, ignition coil, fuel injectors, and the worst, it will be overhauling the engine. It might be you have to replace the piston ring, and so on and so forth, for the overhauling of the engine for this one. We will inform you about what is the engine component later. We will vlog this one for you for another episode.
Yes.
So for now, because there is one our KaTropa asking about how he will determine the engine misfiring. So that's all for today. Have a good day. I hope there's a lesson learned you find again from our vlog. Thank you very much and have a good day mga KaTropa. Please like and subscribe, and also click also the notification bell, so you will be updated to our next videos. Thank you everyone.